Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Gravel coming to you from Chicago as usual. And today I've been moving kind of slow. I'm not going to lie to you. Shout out to the Smoking Popes. They absolutely crushed it last night, and that's why. That's the problem I have. It was fun, though. It was fun. All right. So I did a video a while back on BabyDrill in Judge McBurney's courtroom. And I tried to find the update on it, and I couldn't find the court, but I have an interview from him which explains a little bit. And we're going to kick it off with that, just a short portion of that. And then, of course, I've got, I had a call in Knox County. I guess it's a vibe. It's just the way I was feeling myself today. There's a bunch of people who had a little too much fun on Saturday night. The only difference between me and them is I found the Uber and got home, went to bed. Those guys slept in the Knox County lockup. All right, let's get her started, shall we?
Sitting right here with the one and only BabyDrill. First and foremost, welcome home.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
I forgot to give this a background. For those of you who didn't see the BabyDrill video, he's accused of murder. The fact pattern is that the accusation is that he was sitting in the back of a car and shot somebody in the head. And here he is giving an interview.
Feel to be home.
Feel good. Yeah. Feel good.
Now, you got a song that was rising, and you got locked up. How did that make you feel, knowing that you got a song that's about to blow, damn near blown, and you couldn't experience it how you needed to experience it with everything being on the rise?
Shit was crazy. I ain't really realize how big I was either though. Mm-hmm. Even when I got out, I still didn't realize how big I was.
As of right now, like, do you understand like how big you are?
No, yeah, I know now. Yeah, I know now.
And how does that make you feel?
Shit, good. I'm going bigger and bigger.
Now, when you were locked up, who held you down the most?
What, female?
No, not even female. Like who did you talk to the most? Like, even if it's throughout the gang, if it's family, if it's friends, like, who just was like that person that took your mind off everything and kept you updated with how everything was going music-wise for you?
I ain't call people.
Huh?
I ain't call people.
You ain't call people?
I swear, I ain't even talk to folk.
Was that your choice?
Yeah, it was my choice. I just didn't feel like it was easy like that.
So it's way easier just not talking to people?
Yeah, so you blocking out the outside. Because I know I'm lit out here. So in the inside, it's like, damn, I can't really see what's going on. So I talk to him and be like, damn, I fucked up on me. So I'm like, hell no. Nah.
So you didn't
talk to him.
So you didn't even want to know?
Yeah, how big I getting nothing. I just block it out. So I wouldn't think about it. I wasn't trying to sit there and think about it. Oh, good.
Understood. Now, even with you wanting to block it out, like, there wasn't no part of you like, damn, like, because I know behind the wall, I know everybody talks. Yeah. So I know everybody in there with you was like, yo, bro, everybody talking about you, this, and that. And that ain't even make you want to figure out why, how?
No. Yeah, no, I was like, fuck this shit. I mean, the guards would fuck with me though, so I knew I was getting bad. Cause they ain't call me by, they supposed to call you by your last name. They would call me by drill.
Do you feel like being locked up help you gain momentum or lose momentum?
Yeah, gain momentum. Yeah, it ain't helped me a little now. Made me go harder.
Now, even with...
Okay, so that is interesting because it came up in the thing. Yes, and there isn't very much more on here because he is very, very hard to understand. I can understand the interviewer. And by the way, the interview goes a lot longer. I put a link to that in the description below. I don't know him or anything, but I put a link to the video in the description below if you want to see it. But I can't understand most of what he says, and I don't know the people that he's talking about, to be honest with you. But obviously he's out. We had this discussion in the chat. It was going back and forth saying, yeah, this is going to be good for his career that he gets charged with murder. That seems to be his position as well. I did pick up that much from him. He says that might be bravado or that might be the truth. Unfortunately, I think it's probably the truth. I do. but he's out. The best I can gather is he's out on $1 million bond. I went looking for that court appearance. I was scouring Judge McBurney's calls, and I can't find it. If anyone can find it, tell me where it is. I mean, I would prefer to put that on so we can talk about what actually happened there. But it is interesting, this little portion of the interview here.
Everything that's going on, you out now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm back in middle.
You just dropped a project. And let's talk 32 Freestyle first. Like, how was that? How was the making of that record?
That whole record, one take.
You said one take?
One take. Like, no punching, no bet, no. That's why I come on like that. Mm-hmm. Keep everything. One take.
Now, have you seen the reactions from the club or inside of the club about how people respond to your record in the clubs?
Yeah.
Have you experienced that yet?
No, see, I mean, it was light when I was going to clubs. When I was out, see, it was light. But I see it on gram and shit, like, damn, oh yeah, they be sideways now. Yeah, I ain't really seen it yet, though. I see it on the ground. I ain't personally just felt it.
So how you think you gonna feel when you finally feel what the people feel when your records come on in the club? Because it ain't just one of them. It's multiple of the records that are going crazy inside of damn near every club that I host.
Yeah. Shit don't make a nigga happy. I feel like, I accomplished something. That's all.
Now, just a little background on Drill. Where's Drill from?
I'm from the west side.
West side?
Yeah, I'm from MLK.
Wow. Yeah. Now, how did you link with...
Like that means nothing to me. That's local, like Atlanta stuff. I get it. I'm not from that area. He's like, oh, that means something. It means nothing to me.
What PD and Nudie and the whole family?
Because they family. That's all. We all know people. All related in some type of way. They know somebody, I know somebody. That's all that.
And how's your relationship with Nudie?
Okay.
If you haven't hit like and subscribe, then Ali's looking at you.
What's your name?
Okay, so that's frustrating, but he's out. And I get it. They're allegations; they haven't been proved. But and I understand that that's the basis of the interview. But really, it's pretty insensitive. What's your reaction to your song success? We're not going to mention the guy that died at all. But there's no reaction to that. Just hey, your song's getting played in some clubs right now. Are you excited? Yeah. All right. So these guys, this is kind of weird. You guys are going to have to follow this for me. He reads the allegations, and I swear he reads the same allegations to two separate defendants, and it doesn't seem right to me. But like I said, my mind's working slow today. Maybe I missed something.
James Sherman.
Okay, Mr. Sherman, you've been charged with public intoxication. That would be a Class C misdemeanor if convicted. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to read the allegations?
Sir?
You want me to read the allegations, what they're accusing you of doing?
Yeah.
Okay. It says, this incident occurred on or about Saturday, November 12th, 2022 at 7:30 p.m. at 418 North Broadway, the Knox Area Rescue Mission. On that day, time and location, Officer Angelini and Officer Sexton were on foot patrol when James Sherman was observed to fall to the ground, striking his head on a glass door. Sherman was under the influence of alcohol to the point he was unable to speak with officers. Sherman had bloodshot, watery eyes, slurred speech, and was unsteady on his feet. Sherman was also...
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's still hungover right now. The charges are from last night, so... He probably didn't get the greatest sleep in the clink there, and probably not the greatest food, and he's not feeling great yet.
Observed to urinate in public. Sherman was determined to be a danger to himself and others. Without immediately being detained, Sherman would continue to be a danger to himself and others. While attending to Sherman, officers observed Ronnie Settles to be heavily intoxicated, sitting in a wheelchair in the same area as Sherman. Settles stated to be in the wheelchair because he was drunk, that the wheelchair was not his. Settles was...
He reads this same thing to another defendant. I don't know if they're together. It's later in the call, But someone explain that to me.
Observed to have bloodshot, watery eyes, slurred speech, and be unsteady on his feet. Settles was under the influence of alcohol to the point that he was a danger to himself and others.
Possibly.
Without immediately being detained, Settles would continue to be a danger to himself and others. Both Sherman and Settles were placed in custody while attempting to get Sherman into the Knoxville police wagon. He fell forward and hit his head on the floor of the van. Sherman was evaluated and medically cleared on scene by AMR. Sherman and Settles were transported to the Knox County Detention Facility. This incident occurred within the city limits of Knoxville, Knox County, Tennessee. Citation was not issued because the person is intoxicated and danger to himself. All right, so I'm going to have to set this for court because it looks like you got picked up within the last 30 days. Would you like me to appoint an attorney to represent you in court? If you cannot afford one, I can appoint one. Okay, I need to ask you some questions on oath. Make sure you qualify, so you raise your right hand and be sworn in. This is the uniform affidavit of indigency that you filled out of the jail. You swear or affirm that everything you filled out on this form, any testimony you give is true and accurate?
Yeah.
Thank you. You have a job? Any property, house, or car that you own?
You know what?
Any other forms of income or of assets?
You're right. I didn't
You live
think
in
of that.
Knoxville?
It's got to happen.
Yeah.
How long you lived here?
It's got to happen.
You have family here?
When we get there.
Yeah.
Who would that be?
My sister.
And is there anybody that would vouch for your reliability to show up in court? Is there anybody that would vouch for your reliability to show up in court?
Yeah.
Who would that be?
My sister. My sister.
The wheels of justice are going to roll you right into the Wayne County Jail.
The bond at $100, and I'm going to set this in misdemeanor court on Tuesday so that if you are unable to post that bond, the judge can consider reducing it at that time, or they can reconsider it. If you do post it, they will give you a different court date to go to when you're being released. Go to that one instead.
Well, I can't make it.
I understand. So that's November 15th. That's this coming Tuesday in 2 days in misdemeanor court. And I'm going to appoint the district public defender to represent you.
Who?
The public defender, it's an office of attorneys. They'll assign one to your case.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to waive the administrative fee that is normally assessed with appointment of counsel.
Cal,
They
it
have
took
the
me a
number of the
minute to
public
get there.
defender's office to the jail. Try and get a hold of them prior to your court date, which I'm going to set on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
That's all I have for you.
Okay, thank you.
That's it. That's the court date, misdemeanor, and that's the phone number. You can give them a call. Either one, don't matter. Either one.
What's your name?
Manuel Perez.
Mr. Perez, you've been charged with public intoxication. That would be a Class C misdemeanor, convicted. You understand what you're charged with?
Sorry?
Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes.
Would you like me to read the allegations?
Yes, please.
Says, this incident occurred on
Why do they want to hear the allegations? You were drunk. You were charged with public intoxication. Are you unaware that you were drunk? Or were you just like drunk and you're like, I'm actually curious what I did last night. Go ahead. Go ahead. Read that to me.
about Saturday, November 13th, 2022. Suppose that means Sunday, November 13th, at 4 a.m. at 4603 Chapman Highway. On that date, time, and location, Officer DeStasio responded to a drunkenness at that location. The complainant, Joseph Montgomery, stated that he was sitting on a red light on Chapman Highway and a white male wearing a black dress suit, later identified as Manuel Perez, approached his vehicle and got in the passenger seat. Montgomery then stated that the male asked to take him home, and he told the male that he would drive him to the nearest gas station. Montgomery stated he did not want to prosecute. While talking to Perez, officers observed him to be unsteady on his feet and have red bloodshot, watery eyes. Perez was a danger to himself and others. He was taken into custody without incident. This occurred in Knox County, Tennessee. Citation was not issued because the person is intoxicated and a danger to himself. All right, you can go forward and contest this case, or if you will agree to pay the court costs, you'll be released later this afternoon and this charge will be dismissed if and when you pay off those costs. Would you like to do that?
What are the costs?
I can't tell you exactly what they'll be.
Oh, good Lord.
It'd be no more than a couple $100 though, and they'll do a payment plan with you if you need it.
Okay, and then I'll be released today?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do the release order while I'm sitting here talking to you. All right, I need you to go
I'm
into
sorry, I
executive
couldn't hear
session.
you.
I said I'll do the release order while we're talking.
Yeah, it's not getting
Okay.
better than
I
that.
need you to go in the general session court clerk's office for the next 10 days, make arrangements to pay those costs. You'll want to take the warrant number with you, and that warrant number is @1468416.
Will that be given to me in written? Because I have
Yes,
no.
but if that's the only
Okay,
one, if
perfect.
that's the only one you
It's an
have,
expensive buzz
they'll
form.
be able to find it right away within 10 seconds.
Okay, okay.
And they'll make a payment plan with you if you need them to. And after it's dismissed, it might cost you a little money, but you can get it expunged so nobody can find it if they do a background check.
Okay,
You'll have to just contact the district attorney's office to set that up. Believe you
and
go.
can I be given that information in order to get?
You'll have to look
in
up their
contact with
number.
the district?
You'll have to look up district attorney's number, but I believe that they sort of, I think that they help people along with that these days. I'm not
Okay.
100% sure, but they'll at least be able to tell you where to go.
Okay,
That's all I have for you.
okay, thank you.
That's the number, that's your, that's the case number, okay?
I can
Come on.
Huh? Can I get this today?
I'm not sure.
Should I ask him?
What's going on?
Well, is he able to pay that today? The court cost and
No,
everything?
because they're not open today. He can do it tomorrow, though.
Okay, so
All
can
right.
They're
I pay by
open
phone?
normal business hours.
Is he able to pay it by phone?
He can probably call the clerk's office. I'll have to look up General Session Court clerk's office, and it's criminal court.
All right, thank you. I have the last one here for you.
What's your name?
I'm still.
What'd you say it was?
Running settles.
Okay, Mr. Settles, you have been charged with public intoxication. That'd be a Class C misdemeanor if convicted. You understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to read the allegations?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good Lord. I think
Officer,
this
do you
is-
have that first one still?
Mr.
Sherman.
Thurman, yeah, he's in his cell. I can get him.
Okay, I'll probably need to talk to him again. All right,
All right.
Mr. Settles, you have been charged with public intoxication. That would be a Class C misdemeanor. You understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to read the allegations?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Check something real fast and I'll read them. I think I made a mistake. Okay, I did not make. I actually don't need him back. I'll be all right without it.
Okay.
Okay. It says,
Okay, right there. I didn't notice it the first time. I think he thinks he made a mistake because he read the same thing. But now he's reading this and he's using the other guy's name. I don't get it. Somebody explain it to me.
this incident occurred on or about Saturday, November 12th, 2022 at 7:30 p.m. at 418 North Broadway, the Knoxville Area Rescue Mission. On that date, time, and location, Officer Angelini and Sexton were on foot patrol at the Knox Area Rescue Mission when James Sherman was observed to fall to the ground, striking his head on a glass door. Sherman was under the influence of alcohol to the point he was unable to speak with officers. Sherman had bloodshot, watery eyes, slurred speech, and was unsteady on his feet. Sherman was also observed to urinate in public. Sherman was determined to be a danger to himself and others without immediately being detained. Sherman would continue to be a danger to himself or others. While attending to Sherman, officers observed Ronnie Settles to be heavily intoxicated, sitting in a wheelchair in the same area as Sherman. Settles stated to be in the wheelchair because he was drunk, that the wheelchair was not his.
The wheels of justice are going to roll you right into the Wayne County Jail.
To have bloodshot, watery eyes, slurred speech, and unsteady on his feet. Settles under the influence of alcohol to the point he was a danger to himself and others. Without being immediately detained, Settles would continue to be a danger to himself and others. Both Sherman and Settles were placed into custody. While attempting to get Sherman to the Knoxville police wagon, he fell forward and hit his head on the floor of the van. Sherman was evaluated and medically cleared on scene by AMR. Sherman and Settles were transported to Knoxville.
I'm sorry, but that's just a real shit show. We got a drunk guy who just goes down, takes his head out. We got a wheelchair. We've got a guy falling forward when he's trying to retrieve him. It had to be a wild night. It really did.
County Detention Facility. This incident occurred within the city limits of Knoxville, Knox County, Tennessee. A citation was not issued because the person was intoxicated and a danger to himself. All right, you can go forward and contest this case, or if you will agree to pay court costs, then you'll be released later on this afternoon/night, be in a couple hours, probably. And that I don't know. It's not going to be more than a couple $100 though, but I can't tell you exactly. They'll have to calculate it at the clerk's office. But they will make a payment plan with you if you need to. And this charge will be dismissed if and when you pay off those costs. Would you like to do that?
I mean, I have no income or no way of paying that.
They'll do a payment plan with you.
Yeah.
Okay. I need you to go down to the General Session Court Clerk's office for the next 10 days, make arrangements to pay those costs. You'll want to take the warrant number with you, and that number is @1468392.
Yeah. Other than that, he was fine.
I think that's all that I have for you. So if you get this dismissed, you might be able to get it expunged. Try calling the district, or just go and talk to the district attorney's office. It might cost you money, or they might even waive the costs if you can't afford it. But you can look into that.
Right. So does that mean I'm getting released tonight or later on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I just did.
I'm doing
the.
I do have a question.
What's that?
Will they be able to escort me back to the ministry?
They will release you right here at 400 Main Street. We are approximately a mile from Carm, from the ministry.
Okay.
We're not that far. Yeah, it's maybe 4 or 5 blocks. So,
okay.
And there is Cat. I don't know if it goes to Carm from here, but
unfortunately, yes.
But we're not that far.
Right.
So there's Cat, basically, where they release you. You just go up behind the building to the other side of the building, and there's a main Cat stop.
Okay.
And that's all I have for you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, I've got one more one. I've got another Knox stream, but this one's live. Let me take a look here. I just like the guy's tats.
What's your name, sir?
Wow.
You have an attachment from warrant at 1465299, which is a theft charge with and the bond has not been set on the attachment yet. Your bond will be addressed in court by the judge on that particular charge. You have a new charge of theft over $1,000 but less than $2,500, an E felony. I'm not asking whether you agree with the new charge. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
Need to go over your rights. You have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to say anything about your charges. If you give up that right, anything you do say may be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney represent you if you cannot afford one. I can appoint one to represent you. and you have the right to have a preliminary hearing on these charges, where a judge would listen to evidence and determine whether there is probable cause for the charges to be prosecuted. Do you understand those rights?
Sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please, and you swear affirm the answers you give on your affidavit are true?
Yes, sir.
How much do you make per week or per month?
Varies. I'm in between getting a new job right now.
I'm sorry?
I say it varies, but you get like 600 a week. But
He doesn't have a job right now?
Second, so
You're
I'll
not,
be
you're not employed at the moment?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
not
starting a new
employed at
job.
the moment.
I'm going to a new job.
You're going to a new job.
Yeah, I'm going to. I got a job, but I ain't worked there this week, so I'm going to my new one.
But you were making about 600 a week?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you lived in Knoxville?
Whole life. 30 years. 32.
They try to play me, I'm already released, I'm not going to. Get the fuck out of here. Get me out of here. Yeah, you see me yesterday? I'm still here. Don't keep me. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir, please. He's up there. Hey, but I tried calling you in something, but I went straight to still here? I tried calling you something, but went straight to voicemail. Down. I don't want to amplify, like splashing water and water and stuff and flooded. Okay, sounds good. All right. Still here.
Thank you, Kimberly. Very sweet.
You guys let me know. Shit. What is it?
Looks like Attorney Rhonda Lee represented you recently. I'll appoint her to represent you on your new charge, be waiving the administrative fee. Cases will be set this Monday in felony
The usual.
court. Good luck. And your bond on the new charge is $3,000. Of course, you don't have a bond yet on the attachment, so you'll want to wait till something happens on this before you try making bond. But you'll be able to address all of that in court on Monday. Good luck to you, sir.
Here. Mohawk. I guess the date on that. Is that Monday?
Monday the 14th.
Gotcha.
What is your name, sir?
Sean Simmons, sir. I still been incarcerated ever since October 17th. I still haven't gotten out to be able to talk to pretrial.
Yeah, so stop committing crime.
On me. Now I'm pretty sure I don't have a hold on me, so I could do pretrial and get out.
Well, the problem is, well, you've had a charge. You're not eligible for pretrial at the moment. You have a new charge of fraudulent use of a credit or debit card. It's an A misdemeanor. I'm not asking whether you agree with the charge, but do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir. I was wondering how I got that charge too when I was locked up. I was wondering, kind of drove me crazy.
It's alleged to have occurred on October the 12th. Do you want me to read the narrative to you? It says the defendant committed the offense of the fraudulent use of a debit or credit card under $1,000 in value. This incident occurred on or about Wednesday, October the 12th, 2022 at 9:49 a.m. at the Weigels at 328 North Cedar Bluff Road. Defendant possessed and used the victim's credit card to purchase $11.96 worth of gas at the gas pumps. Victim did not give the defendant permission to take the credit card or use the credit card. There is security video of the defendant in the victim's stolen vehicle and using the victim's credit card.
Well, you
The
got to
value
keep
of the purchase was
$11.96,
$11.96, which is a Class A misdemeanor.
well, it makes
Citation
sense.
was not issued because the defendant was not in custody when the warrant was issued.
Yes, sir. I don't remember that, but
I'm not
I
asking whether you
understand.
remember it. I'm just making sure you understand what you've been charged with.
Yes, sir.
But if this was a
Fucking stupid, bro.
All right, man.
That's crazy. That is the color of the money, bro. Somebody's gonna do this. Maybe they want to stay on here and be serious.
Sir, I have a question.
hang on just a second.
Oh, no, I was like, no. So, yeah, I think it's also a registration period today. But it's ridiculous. I had a door open for no food in 14 goddamn hours.
I haven't seen this far. I don't know what happens. I have to admit I'm hanging around to see the ginger get called. It's probably not interesting, but now I'm curious. Pre-trial.
I can't get nothing done back here. I can't. That won't let me out this morning to speak.
Big and hunt down that BabyDrill court appearance for me. You're in Georgia. I know you can do it. Don't make me call Lily Bristow.
I don't know. I have no air. No. I got fucking crying out of mad. I have a knife. I have no fucking nothing. No hygiene, no toilet paper, nothing, bro. It's ridiculous. I ain't got no choice on me. They won't let me go. They got to trap this door down the park. Period.
He is not happy about the service at the jail.
Sorry to interrupt your case and shit, man, but I've been here like an animal for a minute. I thought I was supposed to be doing. I'm sorry.
Mr. Simmons, it appears that the allegations in this affidavit for the fraudulent use of a debit card predate the other warrant. So I'm gonna release you to pretrial supervision on this new charge. I need to go over your rights. You have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to say anything about these charges if you give up that right. Anything you do say may be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, I can appoint one to represent you. And you have the right to have a preliminary hearing on the charge where a judge would listen to evidence and determine whether there's probable cause for the charge to be prosecuted. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Now, I see you have a retained attorney on your other charge. Is that attorney going to be representing you on the new charge as well? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll indicate that on your warrant. And it looks like your other charge is set for November the 22nd in
Be more than
felony
that.
court. So I'll set this one
11
that
bucks.
same
Yeah.
day.
Oh, my friend.
Sir. Sir, am I allowed to speak?
You are, but you're being released from custody and onto pretrial, and you're set for November 22nd. So I don't know that you need to say much because there's not really anything else that needs to happen. Okay?
Thank
Everything
you.
good? All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Appreciate you. Have a blessing.
You too.
Oh, I could use an electrician. So could everyone. You know, you
What is your
can't get a
name,
hold of an
sir?
electrician.
Matthew Haskins. Is this, I have a quick question. This kind of caught me off guard. Is this a charge related to Food City?
This kind of caught me
I'm
off
not sure
off
yet.
guard.
Hold on just a second.
You're fine. Take your time.
I wasn't planning this arrest. When I got up in the morning, I did not think I was going to be arrested.
Okay.
Come on, I'm waiting for
This is an attachment that was issued on a worthless check charge.
To Food City, correct?
It
I
may
went to
have,
court for it and I was supposed to pay it, but because of, it was my bank and I wrote the worthless check, I didn't have a debit card. So I gave my dad the cash to pay it. He told me he did. Clearly he didn't. And this is years later. I had no idea or I would have taken care of this. I have to be at work early in the morning. I'm not trying to like jam anybody up. I can pay this.
you have a $400 cash bond set by the
Yeah,
judge.
I'm trying to, it's cash bond, which is the problem. My girlfriend was gonna come, but she doesn't have a license, so she can't get up here. So that's what's hurting us right now. But I have to be at work at 11:15, and I was hoping you could work with me, and I could even call and pay $400 towards this check in terms of it.
This bond was set by a judge, so I can't
Okay.
help you.
You can't, like, is there a way you can make it
No.
where I can pay it with card?
The payment method, I don't have any control over the payment method.
Okay.
Did you have an attorney
No,
on this? Are you needing one?
there's no jail time on it. I just gotta pay it, so I don't think I need one.
Yeah, okay. I need to go over your rights. You have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to say anything about this matter. If you give up that right, anything you do say may be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, I can appoint one to represent you. And you have the right to have a hearing on this attachment where you can challenge any issues the state raised that led to the issuing of the attachment. You understand those rights?
I do.
I can't tell, but he might.
And at this time, you're still not wanting an attorney?
But it's just a fraudulent check I have to pay, correct?
Well, that's true, but you're in custody. You have the option of having an attorney if you would like one.
I'll take one. That's fine.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me, please? And do you swear firm the answers you gave on your affidavit are true?
Yes.
How much do you make every 2 weeks?
Every monthly I make 3,800. So.
Make 3,800 every month?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any minor children?
No.
How much is your rent? Or do you have a house payment or rent?
Yes, I just got a house. It's 2,100 a month.
Your house payment is 2,100 a month?
Yes, yes, sir. It's my rent.
appointing the Knox County Public Defender's Office to represent you will be a $50 administrative fee assessed due by the 24th. If you cannot pay it by then, don't worry, that will just be added in with the other court costs. And I'm sorry, I said the 24th, being the 25th. Misdemeanor court's closed tomorrow, or I'd put you in court tomorrow. But it's Veterans Day, so be putting you on. This will be scheduled for Monday, the 14th, in misdemeanor court. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Oh no, we got this guy now.
What was your name, sir? Mr. Sarnes, you have the following charges: possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, a C felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, an A misdemeanor, simple possession of methamphetamine, A misdemeanor, and simple possession of marijuana, an A misdemeanor. I'm not asking whether you agree with those charges, but do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
Need to go over your rights. You have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to say anything about these charges. If you give up that right, anything you do say may be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, I can appoint one to represent you, and you have the right to have a preliminary hearing on these charges where a judge would listen to evidence and determine whether there is probable cause for the charges to be prosecuted. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
And can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm the answers you gave on your affidavit are true?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. How long have you lived in Knoxville?
Since 2008.
Come on, I'm hanging out for the
I'm
ginger here.
appointing the Knox County Public Defender's Office, waiving the administrative fee. Your bail on the weapons charge is $20,000. You're going to be ROR'd on the misdemeanor charges. And your cases will be set this Monday in felony court for bond hearing. If you're not able to bond out over the weekend, the judge will reconsider your bond at that time. If you do make bond before then, they will give you a new court date that'll be out a few weeks. Good luck. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Stephen Emmer.
Be with you in just a second.
Yes, sir.
Strategic ginger placement. Usually I use John.
Mine will be dismissed.
I'm finishing up the other gentleman's paperwork. I'll go over your paperwork here in just a second.
This I haven't. This is a few days old, but I haven't seen this. I don't know if anything interesting happens. Come on, give me something good here.
He was dry humping all that, dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He was getting after it when I pulled up.
You have an attachment from a charge of public intoxication.
Yeah.
There's a $100 appearance bail set on the attachment. The attachment was issued due to an alleged failure to appear at your court date. I'm not asking whether you agree with this, but you're aware what this is about.
Yes, sir.
You need to go over your rights. You have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to say anything about this charge. If you give up that right, anything you do say may be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, I can appoint one to represent you. And you have the right to have a hearing on this attachment where you can challenge any issues the state raised that led to the issuing of the attachment. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Are you requesting an appointed attorney on this?
Appointed attorney, yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? You swear affirm the answers you gave on your affidavit are true?
Yes, sir.
Currently not employed, or you are employed? How much do you make,
Yeah.
how much do you make per week or per month?
$25 an hour for picking up trash.
But how much do you typically get paid?
$25 an hour.
How many hours do you work a week?
About 5 if I'll pick up trash.
5 hours a week?
Yeah. About $100.
About 100 and something.
Have you ever had a failure to appear?
Possibly.
Appointing, looks like Attorney John Boucher has represented you recently. Put your hand down. I'll appoint him to represent you on the attachment. Will be a $50 administrative fee assessed due by the 25th. If you cannot pay it by then, don't worry, they'll add it to the court costs. This case will be set Monday morning, the 14th, in misdemeanor court. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, sir. That's all we have for now.
All right, thank you.
Well, there you have it. Just some fun with the Knox call. I didn't mean to go through that last one, but then I got all intrigued about the ginger sitting in the background through the whole call. So I had to do that. The first one I was watching today, and I'm not feeling the greatest because I had a little too much fun last night, and that's why I saw those guys all just kind of hung over in the Knox County jail, and like I said, it makes you grateful. I thought seriously, like, the only difference between those guys and me right now is I managed to get into the Uber at the end of the night. That's really it. So that was all kind of fun. And then we have that update. I will try to get it. If anybody has a lead on where those cases are, I looked in McBurney's court. I couldn't find it. That doesn't mean it's not there. I don't know if it transferred. There's a few of those cases going on down there, and they'd be pretty interesting. But I need the calls. That's what's interesting, is to see them in court. If one of those goes to trial, it would be really interesting to see. But again, is it going to go to trial in a room where they're going to show the trial? If it's staying in McBurney's room, he shows trials. But I don't know if that will go to another room because he was just the first one he was just setting a bond. He actually denied bond is what he did, and then apparently I think he was on no bond status, and then somebody had to come in there and get it reduced to $1 million bond. That has to happen in court. A judge has to do that order. Someone has to request that. So I wish I would have had that to show you, but since a lot of people asked me to follow up on the BabyDrill situation, I thought, well, I have this information at least. I'll put it on there. So that was that. I thought it was kind of interesting, and then then we just kind of hung out next, kind of because it's fun. Thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna drink some more water, get myself some sleep, and get it after it tomorrow. See you soon.